Hello, this is Tisha Copeland at Not Your Mama's Quilt Store, and I'm going to show you how to thread your Elna eXperience 550 with the automatic threader right here. It's such a great thing to have a threader on your machine, but if you don't know how to use it, then it's no fun at all to have it. So the first thing you're going to do is once you have threaded your machine and you're up to this point, there is a little tiny arm that sticks out right here, and you can kind of see it. I'm going to try to move up a little bit. You can kind of see it right there. You want to pull your thread right behind that. So this is going to help you get your thread right in the correct position. So you see it right there where it went behind it. The next thing you're going to do is thread it right here. There's another little tiny hook right there. And I'm just going to go to the back and come forward just like that. So now you can see that I have run it behind this larger hook right here and this little tiny hook. The next thing we're going to do is pull our threader down so that we can get the little tiny hook that goes into the eye of the needle. So one thing I want to tell you is that before you thread your needle, you want to make sure it is in the highest position that you can put your needle. And the way to do that is to put your needle down, put your needle up, and now we know it is as high as it can go. The next thing we're going to do is go ahead and use our little needle threader. We've got to get a little tiny wire to go through the eye of the needle. And that wire is just so small, but that's what has to go through the eye of the needle. So right in here is a little tiny hook. And I'm going to try to zoom in a whole bunch for you, okay? Let me get it just in the right position. Oops. I'm gonna get it right in the right position. Oh, I actually got a really good picture. I'm sorry it's a little bit blurry, but do you see that little tiny hook? Now, normally that little hook is so small. It has to go through the eye of the needle, so it's really tiny. What that has to do when you push your finger all the way down is go right into the eye of the needle, okay? Did you see that? So if it doesn't go into the eye, it is not going to grab the thread. Trying to do this so that you can see it. So you see how it went into the eye of the needle? I'm going to pull this back up gently, and you can see that little tiny hook. Here is the eye of the needle down here. When I push down, it has to go into the eye of the needle. So now that I have that all the way down, I can't just push it a little bit. Okay. Trying to move back a little bit. I have to push this all the way down, and it went in. If I don't push it all the way down, this is not going to reach the eye, which is where it needs to go. I'm going to take my thread, run under that little arm, and I'm going to come right over here and run under that hook. Now don't pull it hard, because you can pull the little hook out of position because it's just a little tiny wire. I'm going to just hold my thread to the back. Do you see how I'm holding it to the back? Very gently, and I'm going to raise this with my finger, and it has threaded my needle. Okay, do you see how I did that? Now, so many times I see people that pop their needle down, they go bam, and it comes down and they bam, and they shoot it back up. And it is not going to allow that little tiny hook to go through the eye of the needle. You have to do it in a slow, deliberate fashion so that you don't bend the wire, but so that you're also going through the eye of the needle. So remember, you thread your thread back here behind this hook, then you go behind this hook, okay? Then underneath this, I'm doing it the way I do it at home, and then this is going to be a little arm. Push all the way down until you hear it engage. Go underneath that little arm. Go underneath here gently. I'm going to let the thread go as I push it up, as I let this come up. I just let the thread in my hand glide out. I'm not trying to fight with it. And it went all the way up. And now all I have to do is get my little pointer. Sometimes I use my seam ripper, anything like that, to pull it through, and I have it threaded. This is the easiest way to thread a needle on your sewing machine, and it's very basic. Almost all your sewing machines do it the same way.